So, you're watching Squid Game Season 2, then you realise it's way more twisted than you expected.
Red, orange, yellow, green, I'm a legend, Thanos.
Well, buckle up, buttercups, because we're diving headfirst into the messed up world of Squid Game to expose and uncover the true, real villains. We all thought it was the frontman or maybe those creepy VIPs, right? No, wrong. We will explore how the characters are both victims and perpetrators of this sick system. You may discover by the end of this video that the real Squid Game is coming to a city near you. Will you be a victim or a villain? Yes, whether you like it or not, this is going to get personal. The obvious villains. Okay, so first up, we've got the usual suspects. The frontman with his Darth Vader mask strutting around like he owns the place. I'm sure his resume says, "I'm not a monster, I'm a recycler of human trash."
Equality. Everyone is equal while they play this game. Here, every player gets to play a fair game under the same conditions. These people suffered from inequality and discrimination out in the world. And we're giving them one last chance to fight fair and win.
Give me a break, man. Of course, we have to mention Owil Num, the lovely grandfather type who literally invented the games because he was bored. I mean, really? Too bad his son didn't just introduce him to the world of Xbox and PlayStation. Then you've got the guards, those red jumpsuit wearing goons, who are mostly just teenagers and are treated like garbage too. It's like a badly dressed cosplay convention run by a sadist. And let's not forget the VIPs, those creepy old dudes who treat human suffering as their personal pay-per-view event. We are led to believe they are so bored with their money that they are betting on human suffering. The VIP characters are shallow to make them appear disconnected. Unironically, they sit around isolated from the other VIPs while they watch giant screens and lap up the conflict while ignoring the tragedy. Sounds a little bit like how people watch TV nowadays, don't you think? To take it further, are you happy to pick a side in a conflict and ignore the tragic loss on the other side? So are the real villains the spectators? In other words, you and me. Are you enjoying my messed up analysis? If yes, smash that like button right now. The players as villains. Alright, let's talk about the players. They're not exactly saints, are they? Sure, they are all victims of the system, but they spend most of their time trying to screw each other over for a few extra dollars. They are willing to sacrifice other people for the chance to make some more money for themselves. The show tries to tell us that the main character Gi-hun is a hero, but he's out there offing soldiers to stop the game even though they are mostly teenagers. He's saving lives by taking lives. It's like recycling but with more collateral damage. Talk about mixed messages. It's strange that Gi-hun would be the hero. The show would have us believe he is a victim of the system, but really he's a slimeball who steals his mum's money and neglects his daughter. The real hero would get a job or even help his mum in her food stall. On this basis, the villain is the show, trying to convince us we can blame the system for our problems. At least there is a system. Otherwise, when you walked out your front door to scavenge for your food, the streets of your city would be the real Squid Game. The system as the ultimate villain. Okay, here's where it gets real. According to the show, the real villain isn't some dude in a mask or a bunch of rich pigs. It's the capitalist debt system that makes this whole thing possible. It's the system that leaves people so desperate, they'd literally risk their lives for a wad of cash. They even show us the capitalists will try to make money off us even when we are dead, with their organ harvesting subplot. A subplot that went nowhere, by the way. Even the book and the movie Dune gets to the point faster. Squid Game suggests the world is designed to keep the rich rich and the poor fighting over crumbs. The players are just pawns in a twisted game of economic warfare. They make the game itself a perfect metaphor for how the system exploits people, pits them against each other, and laughs as they scramble for scraps. Even you think the games are fun, which is kind of the idea. A reference to Bread and Circus is even a title of one of the episodes. Are you enjoying this fun take on Squid Game? Then subscribe now for more of my crazy views on this world we live in. The term bread and circus was used in Roman times as a description of the way to distract people. In this case, the circus is a giant game where the players are distracted playing and you are distracted watching the show. So if Netflix is the circus, who is the real villain? And don't get me started on the whole vote to leave thing. The voting system in Season 2 is a genius plot mechanism.
No matter how hard you try to fight it, you'll never be able to escape your fate.
That highlights the fact that these people are so enslaved to capitalism that they don't question the democratic idiocy of the vote to continue. It is true, giving people a vote makes them feel more in control of their actions, and leads to division and hatred. It is also true that bad decisions can be made in a democracy, where greed can become the motivator for decision, not what is best for society. Most of us are so enslaved to capitalism that we would write off anything else as communism. It's all about exploiting the desperate, dividing the masses, and watching the chaos unfold. What the show doesn't mention are the ways in which democracy can make better decisions and safeguards we need against manipulation by one of the worst villains, the media. The cycle of violence. So what is the point of all this carnage? Well, besides making us question our life choices, Squid Game is showing us how the system keeps the cycle going. The show highlights how the system itself promotes violence. It's not just about physical violence, but also the violence of poverty, desperation, and the sheer inhumanity of it all. Gi-hun goes back for more like a moth to a very violent flame. It's like the system is a black hole, sucking people in and spitting them out even more messed up than before. It doesn't matter if you're a player, a guard, or a VIP. It's all just one big violent system, and we're all caught in the middle. And the worst part, we all kind of get it. We are all part of this mess. Every time we buy something or go to work, we're all part of the game. This isn't just entertainment. This is our life, and let's face it, we love it. It's the reason why we watch Squid Game in the first place. So maybe we are the true villains. So, who is the real villain in Squid Game? It's not just the characters we see on the screen. It's the system that created them. The real game isn't on the island. It's the one we're all playing every day. And we are all victims and villains in a system designed to manipulate us all. It's a messed up world and we love it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into Squid Game. Consider sharing this video with a friend so they can feel deeply disturbed too. Who do you think is the real villain? Share your thoughts in the comments. And feel free to drop in the comments what real life topics you would like me to cover in future videos. Make sure you subscribe for good vibes and have a sensational day.